Hi, Tracy Hickman here with my good friends this evening, and we've all come together to actually play a game on our game channel for a change. It's astonishing. I'm almost well. Yeah, okay. I am almost well, and let's see if I've got. Here we go. I'm going to say hello world on my chat stream. So I'm a one-man band here today because Laura is actually sick with what I had. Imagine that. And I've been properly medicated and I'm on the mend, and Laura just got medicated and she's now on the mend, we trust. But she felt badly. She was like one day away from being able to come here and join us at the game. And when I last left her, she was very pouty because she didn't get to come to the party tonight. And so, you know. But I'm glad to be here with all my good friends, and quite possibly my only friends.
That's not true.
You don't know. It could be.
I'm sure you have a lot of friends.
I do. I have multiple friends. But we're all here. We're here tonight and are excited about the game. And in fact, Laurel is even here this evening.
I'm here.
Glad that you are here. Just newly returned from
Meeting the President.
meeting the president. Which one?
Mr. President.
Oh, Mr. President. Okay, our Mr. President. You've just gotten back from Washington, D.C., and you met the president there, and that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm feeling like I've got celebrities here at my game tonight. And let's see. Oh, Deja Vu's here, great. Troy Wheelhouse is here, Dragon Knight's here. Hello, all of our good friends online.
Underlevel's not here.
Underlevel, I don't know if he's here or not. Apparently not.
Wow.
Yeah. Not yet, you know. Maybe he's having a connection problem, internet problem. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, look, Fairy Tale Maker is here.
Awesome.
Laura is Fairy Tale Maker.
Okay.
I was going to say that's one I haven't seen before in the street.
No, you've seen her quite a bit,
Right.
as a matter of fact.
And I had no idea who that was as well, but I didn't want to be rude and not acknowledge it. It's like, great, welcome to the show, Fairy Tale Maker.
That's right. We were talking actually just before we started. Some of our, we do apologize for all of you out there, but some of our funnest discussions happen before the show and after the show. And we were talking specifically about combat in old school, because we were talking about, some of you guys started what, in second edition?
Second edition is, that's where we came
Yeah,
from.
you guys started in second edition. First, I started in first, imagine, I started in first edition. Laurel probably didn't get here till like fifth edition.
That's
Pretty
correct.
much, yep.
Yeah, pretty much, okay. And,
Third edition right there.
and third edition,
But
so
I
we,
don't recognize it. I only recognize 3.5.
3.5.
yeah, and nobody talks about fourth.
No.
No. We
Fourth
don't,
edition is dead to us.
yeah, it is dead to us, we don't even mention it. Yeah,
I'm going to feel terrible if the authors of fourth edition are watching.
if the authors of
I
fourth
wouldn't.
edition are
I
watching,
wouldn't.
It's not going to be news to
I'm
them.
sorry. I know it's not news, but it's
Yeah,
still.
but still, yeah, okay. I was not there for fourth edition, I just wanted to point out, so I don't feel terribly culpable about that. But, and Dragon Knight came in second edition because of Dragonlance.
Nice.
Yeah, and Dragon Knight says Thaco, Deja Vu says Thaco, we were talking
Yeah,
about
that's right.
Thaco.
That's
We were talking
exactly-
about the fact that I actually took part in Thaco.
Yeah, we were talking about that, though, that very subject
Yeah.
before this stream
Yes.
started.
This highly divisive.
It is, it's very divisive.
Very divisive.
Yeah.
So we could have, a heated debate about the merits of Thaco.
Yeah, it's either a love or hate relationship. You either
That's
love it
true,
or-
but as I pointed out before, and as I will continue to point out, combat before Thaco was just dreadful. took forever,
Yeah.
and it required an inordinate number of tables that were all counterintuitive.
So the takeaway should be THACO was a major improvement.
The takeaway should be that THACO was a major improvement.
And
absolutely.
ideally is therefore appreciated for the improvement that it was.
One of the things I want to make sure of before we continue the show is that people out there can hear us, because we've been talking all this time and, just doing another silent movie. How about it, you friends out there? Can you hear us?
It's been known to happen.
Have I pushed the buttons properly here this evening?
Well, they said THACO. They have to.
That's true. They said THACO, so somebody must have heard that. Deja Vu says, yes, we can hear you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. All right.
All right.
THACO was the pinnacle of D&D. I'll fight anyone who says different.
All right.
There you go. See? Yes. And you pointed out that I had built the combat computer back in the day that was published in Dragon magazine.
Hard to find that issue.
It is hard to find that issue. I found one the other day in the treasure trove depths of my basement.
With the inserts still there?
Yeah, with the
Ah.
inserts. Yeah.
Oh,
Hard to find.
And that actually, I'd tell you a strange little bit of history about that is that when I was a teenager, I was a pilot. And I learned how to fly gliders, actually up here in Heber, is where I learned to how to fly soaring gliders. And then I later learned how to fly power planes, single engine land planes. And they had a thing that was a flight computer, that was a navigational computer. And it actually was handed down from like World War II. I mean, but pilots back in the day when I was flying, like barnstorming or whatever that was we did, we used this, and it was a disc analog computer that would allow you to calculate, airspeeds and course deviation for flight. And having used this for quite some time, I thought, well, these combat tables really need to be reduced because it was a sequential, the chart was actually a sequential progression, an analog progression. So I built one, and I was delighted to see people with their little paper circles. And
For years.
yeah, it was really a great little device.
It really was.
at its time.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were talking about how terrible combat in the day was, and I was reminded of one of my favorite scenes. I'm going to read a little short piece to you this evening, which typified for me combat at the time. Okay, and this is a piece by Stephen Leacock, who is a Canadian writer back turn of the last century. Who liked to write literary satires. And one of the things he wrote was Guido the Gimlet of Ghent, A Romance in Chivalry, which you can find online. Okay? But there comes a point, this is a love story, of course, between this princess and this knight, Guido, and the princess Isolde the Slender. And they'd never met each other. They'd never seen each other. They didn't really know each other at all. But they loved each other with a romantic passion, because that's how it was back then. You just didn't actually meet anybody. You just idealized them and loved them from afar. And so Guido decides he's going to prove his love. Finally, he's gone on pilgrimage. He's come back, and he's going to prove his love by storming the castle and killing all her relatives and dragging her off, because I guess that's what she did.
It's very romantic.
It's very romantic. It's a romance.
Yeah.
So, yes. And so he climbs into the tower, he goes in, and the Baron, who's Isolde's father, shouts, "Seize him!" cried the Baron. Okay. "Stop," said Guido. "I claim the laws of chivalry. I am here to seek Lady Isolde betrothed to you, Tancred the Ten-Spot." Tancred the Ten-Spot was this hulking knight. "Let me fight Tancred in single combat, man to man." It's time for a combat round.
No initiative.
The combat that followed was terrific. First, Guido raised his mace high in the air with both hands, brought it down with terrible force on Tancred's mailed head. Then Guido stood still, and Tancred raised his mace in the air and brought it down upon Guido's head. Then Tancred stood still and turned his back, and Guido, swinging his mace sideways, gave him a terrific blow from behind, midway right center. Tancred returned the blow. Then Tancred knelt down on his hands and knees, and Guido brought the mace down on his back. It was a sheer contest of skill and agility.
It's very stilted.
But can you not hear the combat rounds
Yes.
going on here?
Absolutely.
In the background somewhere?
Absolutely. Just two people standing there, just laying into each other. Until
Yeah, they just stand. They're going to take my turn and then your turn. Yeah.
Just two people hacking into each other.
You're gonna. I'm going to have to tell you how this ends because For a time, the issue was doubtful. Then Tancred's armor began to bend. His blows weakened. He fell prone. Guido pressed his advantage and hammered him out as flat as a sardine can.
Well, that would be the coup de grace, right?
Uh-huh.
Out of hit points.
Out of hit points.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
and then
just.
once, and then
That's amazing. It's like on Star Trek and I love Star Trek, but it's like on Star Trek when the science officer said, the radiation will kill us in 5 minutes. And you're going to be okay right up to 4 minutes and 58 seconds,
Yes.
right? The radiation is not going to be a problem, but once it hits that 5-minute mark, boom.
Bodies hit the floor.
So, then placing his foot on Tancred's chest, he lowered his visor and looked around about him. Anyway. I definitely recommend Guido the Gimlet of Ghent for those of you who are looking for some chivalric romance. Anyway, so that's how combat, I think, used to go. We are going to play a game, though, tonight, so at some point. Oh, Troy Wheelhouse says the Anvil Chorus. Yeah, it comes to mind.
Tink,
Bom,
tink.
ding, dong, ding. Yeah, that's very nice, yeah. Okay, so. Deja Vu says that Thaco is less than taco. That's really deep.
Okay, that's pretty deep.
That is pretty deep.
I'm gonna
So
have to think about that one for a
we're
minute.
going to do something here that I'm pretty excited about. And once again, I do want to point out that we are flying the Ukraine flag because Ukraine, and we stand with Ukraine. I pray for that nation every night. I pray for its peace. I pray for Russia as well, whose people need peace.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, and-
they really are very much, just as much a victim as anything.
They are
the
very
people
much
of,
as much a victim as anybody in this war and senseless
Yeah.
war. So let's keep them in mind too, because they are also going to suffer. It reminded me of a story that I had heard actually of a Wehrmacht soldier from World War II who served in the German Wehrmacht army and was for the fatherland, and it was his duty to serve his country. And it wasn't until the war was over and years after the war was over, that one day he realized that he was on the wrong side. That his duty to his nation that he had fulfilled honestly, or tried to fulfill honestly, had been in fact in service of the wrong thing. And so not only I think looking into the future for the Russian people, is it a question of the suffering that they will have as a result of the war directly, but also there is also a lot of pain and remorse in realizing that you've been in service of the realm. So you should remember them as well. Anyway, I'm going to do something here that I wanted to do just for you here in the room, okay? And everybody that's watching at home, I'm sorry, but you're going to just have to wait for a few more weeks for our update. But I'd like all of you to come join me here back behind the screen.
So excited.
This is really exciting, right? Okay, are we ready? I don't know, Bo, your head's right in the middle of my microphone. What kind of a horrible thing is that?
Trying to navigate.
All right, I wanted to show you what came in yesterday.
Oh, is that the cover art, the finalized splash art?
That is the final. That's our final art for the cover of Sky Raiders of Avarax, the player's handbook. And what do you think?
That looks amazing, yeah.
That looks awesome.
Mental note, don't take the ship over the ocean, there are dragons.
Apparently, yeah. Although they are in fact over land, actually,
Yeah, I was
if you
gonna
look,
say,
they're
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much, yeah. So it doesn't matter whether you're over the water or not. Yeah.
Now, I'm interested that they're looking away from the dragon. What else is over there?
Oh well, here I'll tell you what. I'll show you the.
Oh, okay.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh yeah.
Okay, now we know.
Now you know. You gotta look at the back cover too, to see how this all goes about, right? This is the submitted art from Matt Stawicki,
Excellent.
and
That's awesome.
we're very,
Beautiful.
very, very excited about this art. There you go. So thank you.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
great.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Man, and I brought something else too to share. Yeah, that's right. Dragon Knight, the art we're looking at here is Stawicki's art. I've been talking with Larry, and we're going to get Larry's moving here as well right away. Get his in as well, so we'll be able to share that as well. And for all of our backers out there of Sky Raiders, we will be releasing that cover for you to enjoy. I believe with our next update so that'll be in just a couple of weeks. Then everybody will get to enjoy that. But the other thing that I wanted to share today, that I'm very excited about, and let's see, is that this that just showed up. This is in fact our first actual mini
Cool.
from the game.
Is that the halfling?
Yeah, this is the halfling. That's why it's such a short mini.
Very cool.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna give everybody a little better look here online at this, and you can go ahead and pass that around.
That's awesome.
See, and this, Bo, is why I was.
Totally. Yeah, looks just
It's striking.
Exact same color.
Resemblance is striking.
It's just, I know, it's uncanny. It is uncanny. Okay. Yeah, Richard Cole says that we're being such a tease. Originally, Richard hurriedly wrote, "You're such a teeth."
Teeth, yeah.
Yeah. But fortunately, yeah, we were able to correct this. This actually is the first of our miniatures that's been printed. We're very, very excited actually to get these done. Kim Borey is doing such a wonderful job on these, and we're so very exciid.
getting the hardcore critique over here.
I know he's to give it.
I'm sorry, I'm analyzing it because what would I do if I painted?
Well, and here's the thing, Bo.
Uh-huh.
I know that you are a competition painter,
I am.
a
Yeah.
miniature painter, and you're also
try.
and you try. Well, you've done pretty well, I believe.
I've won a few awards.
You've won a few awards
Yeah.
for this, right? But you also paint game minis.
Oh, yeah, all the
to
time.
play. I mean, we played, what did we play at my house?
Shadows of Brimstone.
Shadows of Brimstone, and that was like the most, and you brought the forklift and all the miniatures and
No joke. Well, and you guys have played Shadows of Brimstone now, so you know the production that's involved to play that seemingly simple game.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, so my question for you is, this is the absolute first miniature, but I would love to see it painted. Would you be interested in painting the very first of the...
I would be flattered, I would be honored.
Well,
It'd
please
be
do.
amazing, yeah.
Then we're going to give you the first of these minis to be painted.
Fantastic.
I do want it back, but...
Not a problem.
Well, mostly I wanted to take pictures of your painting of the mini.
Sure, no, that would be amazing. Yeah. I'm
So
happy to do
I'll
it.
give it back.
Well, it'll come back to you, not a problem. But for sure, yeah, it's
Okay.
very exciting. I'd love to do it.
Yeah, this is well, and we're very excited to get these miniatures started.
Absolutely.
Kim's been working so hard to get these done and do such a great job. And Laura and I have been working really hard on the game. It's been interesting to take. It's been interesting to take the concept from the original game of race and split it into ancestry and culture and see how those mesh and merge together.
Mhm.
It's been extremely interesting for me to back away from my desire to make everything more complicated than it should be. Yeah, and things are starting to come together here. As I was mentioning earlier, I've been working on the deities and they're listed as religions, faiths, and beliefs. And it runs an interesting gamut, actually. The halflings don't actually have a belief in deity per se, but they have folk tales of a character they call Auntie, Magda Gansa, who's Auntie, and they are this legendary figure that whose tales guide them, and is thought of as a powerful figure whom they can channel and do things with. So it runs the gamut from kind of folk tale through nature worship and as well as complex pantheons. There's just any number of these that are part of the different cultures. Some are holdovers from the old Imperium. One is a holdover from the old Imperium. Another is, and others are derived from passed down memory of the time before, which may or may not be that accurate. So I've been really enjoying that aspect of discovery and sorting it all out in 5e so that it all works.
Yeah. Without talking.
Yeah. So I guess we've no, that's all right. We haven't done the fun part. This is the fun part. We're supposed to play a game. Let's oh, I know what I should ask before we get too far here. Are there any questions for this evening from here in the room or from online?
How you guys doing? All right.
It's exciting. The last game.
Oh, what happened in the last game? You weren't here for the last
I
game?
was here. I just want to hear about
Just
how he burned
calamity
the
and
he
I just
burned the
wanna-
library
misfortune.
down again.
Disappointment. These happened last game.
All of this was part of the last
Infidelity.
game?
Not forget the infidelity.
Alleged.
Alleged.
Irreplaceable treasure troves of knowledge destroyed.
Well, just a few books. They got in there with the sand pretty fast.
It was still burning when we flew away.
Was it? I don't remember that part.
The Pillow Fort wants to know if there's a hopeful release for Skyriders. Yes, whenever the release for Skyriders is, it will be hopeful. No, that's not true. We're working very hard to get this done this year. And hopefully earlier rather than later. It gets. I don't have an actual release date yet for your Pillow Fort because the truth is that even as I'm here, we're working on the schedule, the specific schedule. Now that we have, I love to show this. Now that we have this much written here for the game, we have an idea of the scope of the work that's going to be required. We can see now what needs to be built and how much work that's going to be. It also helps us to scale back the work a little bit so that we know what we can build and what we can't build. Yes, Fairy Tale Maker, thank you. Laura says there are a lot of moving parts, and there are a lot of moving parts. It's especially complicated, more complicated because we are doing the app with the game, which means we've got that complexity that we need to build into it as well. It gives us great flexibility in play, but it also upscopes, increases the scope of the work. Deja Vu wants to know if I have a race that really speaks to me. Pardon me. I like the Barong. Partly because it's based very much on my experience and appreciation and love of Indonesia and its lore. The Barong actually is taken from Balinese lore in part. There is a Barong creature in some of the Hindu dances and plays. And so I'm really excited actually to get in touch with that. Byron said that his wife likes the Barong as well. That's a nice Pillow Fort. Pillow Fort says, hey, a delayed game is eventually great, but a rushed game is forever bad.
That's true.
There you go.
Yeah. Quality takes time.
So she says, take it as, yeah, so
Very well
says,
said.
take your time
Yes.
and get it right. And we are doing it up great. I'm very excited about it. Let's see, anybody? Oh yes, what did happen last time? We're going to talk about that in a minute because I'm going to push the button here and we're going to start this game. All right then. Well, let's see. Last time, as you remember, last time was very interesting. Having flown over Haven at one point and causing a near riot in the town, it was decided that maybe landing here was a bad idea. And so you landed in the jungle instead. Well, it kind of crashed in the jungle, actually.
We're still getting a
She
handle
set
on
it
this.
down soft.
She said it was more of an arrival than a landing. But then, having done so, it was decided that what we probably really did need was some people with experience who could had at least managed to move some sort of wind-powered craft somehow before. And it was remembered, in fact, that there were river boats that, with sails that had been running goods up and down the river around Haven. And so it was decided that maybe we should go back to Haven and learn something about how to sail these boats. So we returned to Haven, the place where you had just nearly caused a riot the day before, arriving in the evening, as I recall, trying to sneak up your ship and dock it with the Temple of the Sky. Some of you stayed with the ship. 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 That's true. But two of you decided it would be best to go down into the town.
I didn't light anything on.
And having gone down into the town, you went to the academy. Yes.
Yeah, this is true. This is accurate.
This is accurate so far. And the bottom who were in charge of the academy let you in and showed you into the library to do some research. While you were doing this research in the library, somehow word was passed to the governor of the town, who then came Yes, honey.
She's correcting you. You forgot something important.
The fortune cookie. Look.
Oh, excuse me. We'll take care of that right away, sweetheart. Okay, yeah, that was, okay. She's very upset.
It appears as though she was, or it is.
Oh, yes, dear, I'm sorry. Yes, we will take care of it immediately. I am so sorry. Okay. I promised to bring dinner home. What did you want? Never mind, I know what you. Okay. All right. Okay, sweetie. Okay, honey. I'm in the middle of a game. I gotta go. Okay, bye. Here in the chat, the screen went dark, right? In the middle of my long-winded explanation. And I've got like 3 messages from Laura. Fortune cookies with 5 question marks. Fortune cookies with 7 question marks. And fortune cookies with 10 question marks. And Dragon Knight says, didn't do the fortune cookies. It's not just Laura, okay? So, fortune cookies.
Fortune cookies.
Brought
Let's get her done.
by Laura. It's important. It's not, which left or right?
Left, always. Yeah, left.
Always left. Okay, fine.
Left is not the problem.
Okay.
Remember that.
All right. Go ahead and open that for the players. Someone read the player's fortune for this evening.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. A vigorous hike and fresh air are just what you need.
Well, can we change that hike to flight?
A
What I
vigorous,
hear
a
is
vigorous
run away,
flight
run
and
away.
fresh air. I kind of like that, actually. Yeah, I think we can do a little editorial on that one. And this is the GM's fortune for this evening. Okay, what do we got? Your best investment is in yourself.
Okay. All right.
I have no idea how to interpret that.
Well, you're writing a game. You're publishing your own book.
I'm publishing.
Obviously for.
Okay, I'm going to go with
bolster
that.
Yourself. Yeah.
This has nothing.
This game. In
It's
fact.
nothing. Yeah, well, yes. Okay. This game.
I
I guess it will work just
Well, I
fine.
think we've related it to you.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
So, if I recall, we left off with us minding our own business, innocently researching how to operate an airship.
Deja vu, by the way, is correct. That is exactly why my wife called. It was about the fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go right ahead, Bo. What were you doing?
Well, we were very rudely interrupted.
Yes, you were.
very rudely, by none other than the governor. Now, I do forget his name, and I apologize. I'm terrible
The
with
Baron.
names. The Baron what? But he came in seeking to power grab.
You found out he imprisoned your
I,
father.
I refer to him as Mr. Baron, sir.
Mr. Sir?
Yeah.
Okay,
Baron
sure.
Keelam Garland.
Yes, Baron Keelam Garum.
I don't know why you didn't take his card, but there you are.
He made his not so subtle entry into the librarium, where we were
Stealing.
Researching.
reading. We were
Oh.
stealing
I haven't
anything.
sold anything in that one.
Now, the stealing will come, but at this point in time, no stealing had taken place. Anyway, but no, obviously, he was not interested in negotiating some kind of allyship between us, the airship that we are in possession of, and the citizens of Haven. He was more interested in taking me captive, well, us, if he had the opportunity, but specifically me, because apparently he is under the mistaken impression that I have done him wrong, that I have slighted him in some fashion.
And
Bye.
Well, he would suggest that I've had an affair with his wife, which I maintain is absolutely not true. His wife did come on to me. She did make advances, but I spurned those advances, and in spite and in vindication, she has slandered my name and libeled me.
Is he Baron's middle name Hartford?
I don't
That's
know.
kind of what I was thinking.
So here we are.
well, no, not quite. Here we are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're right. There are some more details.
There were a few more details. Yes.
I forgot
so-
about the sloppy escape attempt.
Well, out of fear
In which you
of being
set the library on
captured,
fire.
out of fear of being captured, and then my
Yes.
person being held for ransom against the ship, which I have absolutely no expectation that anyone should ever capitulate to that
Yes,
demand.
yes. You threw a lantern on
I-
the ground, started a new fire.
I and we are expendable as far as the
I
safety
agree.
and security
You
of the
are
ship is concerned.
expendable, yes.
So yeah, okay. So I tried to make a daring escape.
Yes, but
Now I
failed.
did make a daring escape. No, it was a daring escape. It just wasn't a
It wasn't-
graceful daring escape.
It wasn't there. I would say sloppy. Sloppy escape. I mean, a
Okay.
sloppy escape.
All right.
This is what
Fiery even.
Fire you.
But the good news
What
is-
happened is you threw the lamp trying to break the window to make an escape route,
Yes,
and the lamp you rolled a 2.
I
as
did. I
recall.
rolled very poorly.
You rolled poorly.
Yes.
Yes. And it broke against the window
Uh-huh.
and started a fire
Started a fire.
in the library.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes. Which caused quite a commotion, as I recall.
as
Yes.
it should.
Yes. But you did manage to escape
Yes, with the book that we
With the
were,
book that we-
which you saw
with the
too.
book that you needed.
Yeah, we made haste back to the ship, and now we're on the ship.
humans have a very peculiar way of doing things.
Attempting to make a hasty departure, I take
As
it.
I recall, some of you had to be hauled up by ropes as the ship
Oh,
was
that's right. The
flying
ship
away.
was taking flight, and they threw down ropes, and we had to tie ourselves off so we could be hoisted up. Yes,
Yes.
that's right.
A little ignominious, but yes, you got there.
Whatever works. Whatever works. And then it was declared by our friend over here that we're headed to Cran.
Yeah.
Cran we come.
To Kron you move. Well, you have got the ship in the air, and the ship is a bit of a problem. It is rather beaten up, and as has been pointed out, is extremely old. But the harp is holding, and you seem to be making good headway. The wind is offshore at this point, and there's a gentle offshore breeze that is pushing you inland, since it is evening. And so you have a good following wind to push you toward Kron.
Well, you'll find me looking over the bow, the back of the ship, right? Is that the bow?
The back is not the back, it's the stern.
The stern. Okay, I'm standing at the stern, looking over the stern, looking painfully and longingly at Haven as it disappears.
As it is receding, yes. You bid farewell to the tropical isle as you are moving.
You know?
You're flying over the jungle canopy through the night.
Can we
So,
tell how much
You started the fire.
fuel is in the harp?
Well, the harp is,
On the demands that I tell you that it was I.
Why did you start a fire in the library?
We were about to be taken captive by a corrupt
Did you
governor.
find anything?
I
did.
understand that, but in
I
the
have a book.
library, really, there's nothing else?
It was an accident. I didn't
I've
intend
got
to
a
start a
book.
fire. I intended to make
I think we need to
fire. It
add
was
some
just a
more
byproduct of
Self to the heart, but I
some,
don't know if we can tell how much
lack
it
of
has.
design.
I think you very close that you are going. You've only ever been adding little bits to the heart.
So let's add some,
more through
More
the
self?
mind
some more self.
I would love to see
against the
Okay,
surface.
I put a draw.
Surface did not need it.
Maybe 3 or 4.
Oh,
You
I
actually
see.
did.
No,
Yes.
remember last time?
That's-
Well, let me see your character sheet.
But it's
for a
bleak
moment.
times like
That's
this that remind me of the public.
Instead of that, let's read this book.
Well, she has the book and I'm asking for it
Yeah.
right now.
Are you still tied up? Can you just push it back over the edge?
I'm pretty sure I'm calculating.
I'm just kidding.
Look, just make sure a lantern does not get near him and that book.
But there is indeed a poem that I have knowledge of that encapsulates the bleak times that we now face.
But before this poem is read, you have this book.
I have a book.
You do have a book. And what are you going to do with it?
I'm going to read it.
Through the night.
I want to read it with you.
Okay.
Read it out
I,
loud.
we're going to read
That
it
would take
together,
forever.
and I actually want to copy it because it's very old and brittle,
That's a good idea.
and we probably need something a little more sturdy.
I'm gonna look at the book. How long is it? How fat is it?
Well, the book isn't a terribly long book, but it is extremely detailed. And because you have been on this ship for this period of time, I have become somewhat familiar with the different parts of it as you have struggled to make it work.
Yes.
And so as you were going through the book, the illustrations in the book and the notations in the book, while a lot of the terminology is unusual and new to you, the images that you're seeing remind you of the things that you have worked with. And so you are actually coming to an understanding of how things function aboard the aeroship. So each of you should pick one of the blank skills at the bottom of your list.
Rigger, navigation, pilot, sylph, harpist, and sailing master.
Yes.
I will take pilot or navigator. That's what I do best at.
Oh, really good. Let's see.
What am I
Really
doing?
good, very good at
I'm
intelligence.
still strong.
Pilot,
Self-harpist, right?
Yeah.
I guess
I would excel at navigator or pilot.
Harpist.
Cool.
And
I'll be the sailing master.
Yes, a fine choice.
You have high wisdom?
I don't know.
but
No, not particularly.
Well, you know what? My wisdom is not great.
how come there's no charisma-based skill here?
There is no
I have a high wisdom.
Actually, there is a charisma-based skill. It's just not listed.
It's just not listed.
Min-maxing.
Okay.
Yes.
I get
It's
it.
called
Yeah, I'm gonna be the
captaincy.
sailing master.
Yeah?
I know
Alright.
that too.
What's her wisdom?
I don't know.
Alright,
Really
and you know
good.
what it was
I get a
like?
+3.
Yours is by far
I'm a
superior to
very good
everyone else.
navigator.
All right.
Well, I'm going to study navigation. Does anybody object to navigation?
Well, I think she just said she was a really good navigator.
Oh,
There's,
That's
okay,
fine.
if you're going off of intelligence, there's navigator and
yeah,
pilot.
navigator and pilot. So,
Yes.
Laura, was that you and I? Navigator and or pilot?
Well, let's have at least one person in everything.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. One of us needs to pick
I
navigation.
have a +3 in wisdom.
Do you have a preference?
Yeah.
You
good
know
sailing
what's
master.
in wisdom? You need to be the harpist. I need to train you what I know so
The
far.
harpist or the sailing master.
Or the sailing master.
You've already got a sailing master right there.
What does the sailing master do? What is sailing master? Just take sailing master. I don't know.
What's your
Swap the
strength?
dicks.
What's your strength?
My strength
What's your bonus to wisdom?
is
Minus
+2.
2.
Okay, you
Oh,
totally
you should
beat
not
my
be a
strength. So
sailing
anybody at the wheel needs to be able to manage the wheel. That is not. I'm in a negative one.
Well, I could actually.
So anybody that has to fight that wheel is not me.
Okay.
So pilot.
Show me.
Okay, pilot, and I'll take
I
navigation.
could do rigor. I have a high dexterity.
What's she have? What's your highest?
Dexterity.
Dexterity? Gosh, there's
But
only
you were
one.
going to be.
There's only one.
But you
His,
were
what's your
going-
intelligence bonus?
+1.
Okay. He at least has, his wisdom's terrible, so he should not be the sailing master.
Yeah.
Wait, is the
Oh.
sailing master need wisdom or does he?
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm so looking forward to that.
Isn't he
one
the
for
one
you.
who like tells him to put the sails up and down?
Yes.
I will be the sylph harpist. Then.
Yes. And then I could do something with either dexterity or intelligence.
Okay, you can be the rigger.
We have
I'll be the
navigator,
rigger.
or
Okay.
navigator or pilot.
Well, the navigator and the pilot's already covered. She's pilot, I'm navigator.
All right.
Oh,
I will
okay.
be rigger.
Cool.
Wait, that means he's the sailing master with
Yeah.
a -2.
It's all right. I'm in
All right,
charge.
let's do it.
Let's go.
Wait, what was the other thing you wanted to do though?
That's what I want to do.
Each of
He
you,
knows the most about sailing of all of us in real life, so
Yes.
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, no, it's a great fit. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all
each
right.
of, each of you then start with a +1 in the skill, except for you. You start with +3.
Oh,
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Because so far you've kept the boat afloat, and so apparently you have a natural ability in this.
Dragonboard.
Well, you are the, and yeah, I think we all agree that he's the captain of the ship.
I am now.
Yeah. Excellent. So now I'm down.
Get below deck, slave. Do your thing.
I'll
Yeah.
show you what I know
Be
so
gone.
far. This one does this thing.
No
This
smell
one
list.
does
Go.
this thing, kind of, but it could go too far if you know, too much.
Let's see. I'll read the book.
Actually,
I'm a man, so I'll just skim it.
Well, we're gonna.
Look at the pictures.
You
Yeah,
look at the
I got it.
pictures.
I got it.
Yeah, I got this. I got this. You're sailing through the night, and things are actually improving in your flight. Although the ship is heeling over slightly, and is making pretty ominous sounds.
Is there anything in the book about making repairs?
Sick stuff.
Yes, it says to find a shipwright who would be more than happy to assist you in
Sure.
repairs.
Unfortunately, we don't have a.
There's not a DIY section.
There's,
There's in fact sections about repairing the ship that may be of some help to you.
Okay, we should read those.
These include things like how to build how to hew a mast or yard, how to repair the hull,
Oh.
and basic repairs to the sylph engine,
It's number one foot square.
which
Yeah.
could be important.
But you can do
Hey,
it.
Silkmaster,
sounds hairy.
there's
I'm
a
a-
section in the book about repairing the sylph engine.
Fortunately, there's a Crafters Guild at Crone.
Oh, is that the same as a shipwright?
No, but it's better than fighter.
You sail through the night, and who is the pilot?
I'm reading one heaven.
Okay, we just need a basic
I could
difficulty
read
check
to you
at 5.
while you pilot.
14
+1.
plus 1, 15.
Yes, you do fine. Who's navigating?
right here.
Okay. Also DC 5. How'd you do with there?
I think we're heading in the wrong direction. I'm still figuring out these charts. I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1.
Yeah.
I see.
We're like a moth to the flame.
I feel like we've seen that burning library before.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you can see the smoke rising from the jungle canopy. You might want to turn the boat.
So hours later, do you want me to make another check?
Yes, I do, because you've got to get it.
All right, there we go. 13.
Oh, good. By having turned the boat around again, having almost gone to Haven for a third time, where no doubt your reception will be a
Assured.
short one. You do manage as the sun comes up behind you. You can see in the rising sun illuminated in the rising sun, and brilliant red and orange hues, the mountains surrounding Kron.
Cool.
Well,
my
that's-
son
So we're
lives in
heading-
the
we're
long
heading
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can also see the smoke rising from the volcanoes, and there are multiple volcanoes in this region.
You wanna go around this time?
And a very tight canyon that leads up into Kron itself. Now, the mountains are much higher than you are flying currently, but if you go much higher than this, it's going to get extremely cold and the air is going to get very thin.
So we have to go through the canyon?
Probably best, unless you really want to try the other way.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Why wouldn't we?
It's just like shooting the Death Star, man, regardless.
That's right.
That's right. This is going to take a feat of navigation and piloting.
Use the force.
I got the piloting.
All right.
Okay.
But first things first,
Yes.
just gather together.
He wants to read a poem.
No, no,
Well,
I'm tempted to bardically inspire everyone too.
Please.
Please, partically inspire us. Yes.
Let's just gather together. Let this cause be accomplished. Everyone knows their job. Everyone's read the book.
Yes.
You're here.
Just kidding.
Off we go. All right.
So
That was inspiring.
Everybody gets a D6.
You'll
17
sweat.
plus, so
You
23.
also had to
23, very nice.
say that 5 too.
How much sail are you carrying?
Not much.
I would think not, no. You do not want a lot of headway. You might want to burn through this canyon. However, it is true that if you don't carry quite enough sail, you're not going to
Make it.
maneuver.
Oh, yeah.
Is going to be poor. How are you doing over there?
21.
Oh, we're doing great.
25.
I got a 21. You got a.
I got a 25.
Excellent. With surprising skill, you managed to navigate the ship.
I just feel so inspired.
You are so inspired that you are navigating the ship through the narrow canyon, narrow and
History will
winding.
be made by the lot of us this day. Be proud of that. But only if we do not smash into those mountains.
You find this, you are flying over an enormous structure that is down below you, an ancient structure actually, a curtain wall that is set between the canyon walls that rises up and forms a great and ominous gate at the base. There is a tower to one side. You can see figures fairly clearly from your vantage point. You can see dragonborn figures atop the wall who are pointing in your direction and taking notice of you.
Is there a airport in Crown?
Like a
Airport.
temple, like a sky temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
something like
Obviously, what the airships would have used to dock.
In
here.
Kron,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kron.
we've never been here before.
that. I'm from here.
You are from here. You know that there is a tower here at the Citadel that is indeed said to have been a place where the landings.
And is that the tower we're looking at?
No, this is the gate tower to the canyon.
Okay.
Can you hail them?
Well, I think we're just going to keep going, aren't we?
Yeah, we're gonna keep going.
You pass down the canyon with consummate skill. Oh my God.
So we're just gonna fly over the curtain wall and.
Yes.
What's going to stop us?
And you come to this mountain valley.
If they have a ballista, but
Okay.
that will stop us.
And in this mountain valley that's surrounded by these peaks, you can see below you the very densely packed town of Trove. And Trove is where the dwarves live. And these are Delver dwarves and Builder dwarves. The Delver dwarves you never see; they're underground. But the Builder dwarves are here on the surface, and these are the ones who smelt the ore. These are the ones who build the things. And they lay outside the gates of the citadel itself. And the citadel is the enormous, ominous, dark structure that is built into the side of the canyon. It was once the most secure location of the prisons on the Arenas coast. And now it is the stronghold of the Dragonborn. Rising from inside the curtain wall of this former prison, you can see many structures inside, this jumble of old dungeon buildings in a complex. But to one side is a larger building, and rising up from that building is this tall, dark, spiked tower. And you can see jutting from it that there are platforms protruding as you have seen before.
Little dock. If we can.
How much of an assemblage is amassing underneath us as we approach this tower?
There are Dragonborn lining the curtain wall, and they are all facing you, but they are not moving. They're standing in rows, watching.
This is strange. What do you know of this?
Dragonborn are very ordered people. Not like humans.
No offense taken.
Perhaps they received word.
I don't know how. I feel like we're
I
traveling
don't
faster
know
than work.
anything about the Citadel from having lived here.
Someone saw us.
Well,
You know-
definitely somebody saw. That's an
Of course.
absolute. Regardless, that's not strange. That's what I'm getting at,
He
right?
asked what he knows and said.
Oh, very good.
You do know of the religion of the Dragonborn, of their worship of Akron. And Akron was the great warrior of the past who has passed into the beyond as a warrior to fight your battles in the next world. That the Dragonborn here in this world are ruled by Akron Kasan. Which is, Kran Kasan. And Kran Kasan is translated as the receptacle of blood, who is the embodiment of Akron in this world.
Okay. Cool.
Is that like literally or just like in the metaphorical way?
Depends on who you ask.
Sure.
I think it's pretty literal.
It's pretty literal. Like he's actually
Well,
the
if you
flesh
ask the
receptacle
Dragonborn,
for
they're
God.
That's
going to
correct,
just
yes.
tell you.
Okay, so it's actually the God residing in that flesh receptacle.
Yeah, that's right.
You docked
Yeah.
No,
at the tower.
Now, before we depart the ship, we must address we must address the people.
Why?
Because we must.
There's no mob. There's no
Is there no law?
chaos. There's
There
no
is no mob. Everything is well ordered.
Sure.
It is unusual that you have not seen any dwarves
Well-
out in the streets of the town below, none at all, but you do see the Dragonborn on the walls. And in fact, at the end of the stock at the top of this tower, you do see two Dragonborn guardians who are standing there in full armor and face armor.
I don't like the looks of this.
Well, they're merely
is that
merely the
threatening?
potentates of this
No, I would
of this
He knows.
village.
You guys, he knows, so.
Yes, yeah, I'm not worried. I'm sure that this is all well and in order. And I don't mean a mob like a raucous mob of activists or what have you. I mean just, I'm sure that the citizens of this town are watching us. Yes, their eyes are not skyward.
They appear to be.
Yes,
Is there
yeah.
anything
So
we need to do to show respect to your religion or your leaders?
No.
Okay. Okay, you lead us. What do we do next?
I'll ask them for permission to tie off, to dock the ship.
They pull short swords, gladius actually,
All right, let's go. I told you this was a bad idea.
and bang them to their chest once, and then both turn to face each other on either side of the entrance to the tower.
That looks like a good.
You recognize this as a sign of greeting.
Good.
sure,
But I didn't.
I'm sure he
So
knows.
I'm still nervous.
We to follow his lead.
Yeah, we'll tie off.
Okay, you're tied off.
Not so bad feeling about this.
I do whatever I need to do with the rigging to make sure everything's tucked away, nice and neat.
Furl the sails. Okay.
Throw the sails. There we go.
So what was our intent in coming to Chrome?
Oh, many things, actually. A lot.
To get some food?
Well,
No,
the
I need to
intent.
find
Well,
somebody to fix.
we need a safe haven from which to operate out of. We need a good power base from which to operate out of. We need skilled hands to help us man, crew, and repair this ship and maintain it. We need supplies.
I'm gonna de-weapon myself and then go inside.
You drop your weapons
Then I'll leave on the ship.
and you step onto the quay and you go inside.
Yeah.
As you move toward these two guardians, they again bang their chest with the hilt of the sword, turn in front of you and step in front of you.
Okay, I'll wait.
Well, I think you left your weapon and they didn't like that.
What do you do?
I'll wait.
You can hear them receding down this.
I'm gonna wait next to him.
Did
They-
you leave
they
your
left.
weapons on the boat?
I
They
didn't.
they banged their chest, turned and went back through the
Oh,
opening.
I'll follow them. I thought
Oh,
yeah, I'll follow
that's
them.
not what I heard.
Okay, who's staying at the ship? Anyone?
I'm gonna stay on the ship.
Okay. Oh, I'll stay.
I'm ready to cut that rope and ditch all
And
you
ditch
guys.
Who's got the book?
I have the
Yeah,
book.
you have the book. All right. So
You-
what's
It's not on the ship.
who's going
I'm
down?
still on the ship.
Who's
Oh,
going?
thank
You're on the
goodness.
ship.
Ah.
Well, I'm gonna leave the book in her safekeeping.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
I was busy
And
copying
then I'm
it
gonna leave
anyway.
my sword and my other stuff, and I'm gonna follow him.
You move down through the tower, deeper and deeper and deeper into the citadel. From time to time, as you are moving down this grand circular staircase leading down, and you can see now off the side there are a number of cells that are there, ancient cells. The doors are broken, and within each there are guardians again of Dragonborn. You come down to the bottom of the tower, and these two guardians in this great rotunda area at the base go to the side where there are these enormous steel doors. And they open these into a huge hall. It had been a mess hall at one point, but now it's decorated in long streams of red banners. They're rough-hewn red banners, because there's no good cloth in this place. But they're dyed red, a brownish red. You may hesitate to wonder how they came up with that particular coloring.
We'll close your book.
It has something to do with ex-humans.
And there at the very, very end is this great throne. Yes.
Do you know who it is?
I'm sure it's Kassan, which I have no idea how to. Is there a protocol dude here?
There is no protocol dude here.
Well, then I
But
guess-
there are an awful lot of Dragonborn here,
Yeah.
in ranks on either side.
If you would like, I can address this potentate. If you would translate for me.
Don't speak.
Well,
Very well.
you could translate, so.
Well, I will bow or whatever I think I'm supposed to do. I don't know.
No, don't bow.
Oh,
Don't bow?
then I
No.
don't.
Don't bow.
All right.
But like
You know,
the
the
Klingons,
last thing
gotta
you want to
show
do is
strength.
bow.
Okay. Show of strength.
Yeah,
so
she-
puff
like a
yourself up
Klingon.
really good.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm Calvar and I've arrived at the airship. And I wish to parlay.
You come and stand before him.
Not too close.
Not. He stands up. He is an enormous dragonborn, extremely powerful. His helmet sits at the side of the throne, and his head is laid bare, open toward you. But you can see that he is an ancient dragonborn, and not to be trifled with. He stands and moves down the steps toward you. Strong, powerful steps. He comes to stand within 2 feet of you. Draws in this deep breath. I have heard of you. I have heard of your strength. I have heard of your deeds. You are the raiders of heaven. You burned the town to the ground.
Yes.
You pillaged the village of heaven.
Yes.
Take its wealth
So
by the power of your strength. You burn down the books. Throws his big arms around you. Well done, raiders of heaven, pirates of disguise, ruthless, powerful.
Sure. Well, then.
I honor you. What can I do for you?
We would like to fly the flag of Kron and receive repairs
You bring glory to Kran.
and supplies.
If I might say but a word. A new day dawns for us. Rejoice, for your son has returned victorious. As of this moment, Kron is the central axis upon which the cosmos of the whole of Abrax spins. Generations ago, our forefathers, with great sadness and profound disappointment, lost all hope and stopped looking to the skies as the aeroships of old ceased to appear overhead. An unmistakable message that our kinsmen residing in our ancestral homelands, far across the seas and oceans, had forsaken us. As of this moment, the brave people of Abrax are absolved of that sadness and are lifted out of their profound disappointment. And it is with tremendous pride that I can proclaim to you that this hope is reborn. It is now that every man, woman, child, dragonborn, or otherwise, of Abrax will cast their gaze aloft and observe this new hope, and they will see it suspended in the skies over Kron. Now, we now have in our possession the means to regain our lost birthright, and it is now to the winds, buccaneers, to the storms, sky raiders, fly on dragon sylph to find our way to that mythical place that we called home.
He for many words.
Humans.
Write down. I like.
Very good.
And so we have to stop. Well, that was fun.
There you go.
That's good.
That was really good.
That was
I
good.
felt it worked with this guy.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow. Good game tonight, everybody.
Yeah, fantastic.
I would, you know what, let's see. How are we doing here? I need to check in with him.
It's hard to do when you don't
Everybody
have
was
your-
grateful for the fortune cookies, and then everybody went silent. I don't know, maybe.
They were enraptured.
I think it was the speech.
Oh, think
I
so.
loved it. Wow, well, that was a lot of fun this evening, everybody. Thank you very much. We'll come back again, I guess, next week and find out what this new alliance with the Dragonborn is going to lead to.
Rating.
That, and I think we can all agree that the reality of Haven is going to stay amongst us. They're not gonna correct this guy. Haven is only, it's just slightly singed at best.
What happens on the heart stays on the heart.
There you go. Indeed.
Well, we're running a little long tonight, but I think it was worth it. Thanks, everybody. What a great game. I'm glad to be back at it with you. And we'll, wow, what an exciting place to stop. Oh, see, Dragon Knight, standing ovation.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Little golf clap. Yeah. We'll be back, I guess, next week. I guess for all of you who are watching online, it's the usual click, like, subscribe thing. Tell your friends that this game's going on and have them join us here if they can. For that matter, we are, of course, here at Mythos Games. If you happen to drop by and would care to come and watch the session here live with us and join us here, we would certainly invite you to do so. Let's see, I think, well, we're certainly going to be at Gen Con this year. Very excited to return to Gen Con for the first time in several years. We're going to take Killer Breakfast back to Gen Con. And who from the table here is joining us here at the convention this year? Okay, this is excellent. And
Oh no.
You're not going?
No.
oh, that's so sad. Yeah, we're going to put everybody to work. So, helping us with a couple of events, the Killer Breakfast event, and an event that nobody knows about yet, but I'm very, very excited about.
I only know the time block, and that's it's not very much at all. So, you know.
And let's see what I'm also going to attend Emerald City Comic Con up in Seattle,
That's cool.
which would be fun. There'll be good friends up there for me to see and visit with. And I will, and I believe we've also been invited this year to Dragon Con in Atlanta, which hopefully I'll be able to get that all worked out, because we always love going down to Atlanta and visiting our good fans down there in the south. Can't think of anything else offhand that we need to leave with everybody. But thank you for joining us here. And as has been so eloquently said already this evening, to the wind buccaneers, to the storm, Sky Raiders, let's fly. And we'll hopefully see you again here next Wednesday. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
So we got a